Welcome to a special bonus episode of Character Creation Spotlight, everyone. In this bonus segment, we'll be shining a light on some current or up-and-coming games to keep an eye out for. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan, and today we are welcoming Austin Taylor and Amanda Kahl to talk about Deimos Academy, a horror RPG that lets you explore a creepy boarding school through a coloring book with paper dolls. Welcome to Character Creation Spotlight. It's really great to have you both here.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Austin, could you go and start us off with telling a bit about yourself? What sort of projects you have going on?
Yeah, I'm Austin. My pronouns are he, they, she. I am a podcaster, narrative designer, and game performer because I love to be busy, I guess. So some stuff I have going on right now, I'm a cast member on Transplanar RPG, which is an actual play. I'm a designer on this in Deimos Academy. I have a few things that aren't officially announced yet that I'm writing for. And I think that's it that I'm like actively working on. Some stuff I've worked on before. I worked on Archon and I've worked on Brinkwood. So those are some things I worked on recently that are Brinkwood's out. I don't think Archon is out just yet. It's hard to keep track of stuff when you're just like a writer and not the designer because they kind of like have you write and they take it and they're like, all right. And you're like, oh, okay. And that's kind of it. So you get an email with your PDF copy.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're in a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I'm like, I see my plate is full and then I see what you do online and I'm like, oh, that's a full plate.
I am officially at the saying no stage. Yep. I told Amanda and Banana the other day when people ask me of like, if I say yes to one more thing, I won't have time for stuff that I want to do that is like just my stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful. Amanda, how about yourself?
Hi, I'm Amanda Kahl, she, her. I am an artist in the tabletop gaming world. I was the artist for Deimos Academy and kind of like art director. I'm in charge of like all the visual stuff for this game. I do a lot of other illustration for different tabletop games and including like Skirmisher Publishing, Fair Lake Games, I like so many. I can't think of them all right now. And I'm also a comic artist. I have my ongoing webcomic, Age of Night, and I'm also in the middle of working on a graphic novel right now, which should be coming out later this year.
Oh, very cool. Wonderful. Well, thank you both for being here. Since this is an abridged version of our normal format, we'll just be sticking to the highlights of the system with a special focus on character creation. So without further ado, how about we find out what this game is all about?
What's in a game?
So, could you start off by telling us a bit about the core concept for Deimos Academy?
Yeah, I can do that. So Deimos Academy is as you said at the top, horror coloring book RPG, which is a mouthful of things. So you are an alumni returning to the school for a reunion. I say for question mark, like I'm not the writer. You're returning to school for a reunion and you get there and stuff is a little freaky. There's no one there. The doors are all locked and you can't get out. You're just left to explore.
Oh boy. It sounds like a very great thing. So it feels like that's kind of the setting that we're playing with, right? Is there any other details about the setting that you want to go into? Like what's special about this spooky school?
Yeah, so there's an ad lib at the start when you're in creation actually, and working on your characters where you kind of ad lib about what the school focused on, why you went to the school before, what kind of thing the boarding school specialized in. Like, was it an art boarding school? Was it like a prep school for college, etc.?
Oh, okay.
And the other thing that links you and all the characters together is you all have supernatural powers.
Ooh.
Whereas, assumingly, other students did not.
Okay.
That's kind of up to you and the other players to decide because it is GM-less. It's not like a one person leading the narrative in that way. So it's kind of meant to run like you and your friends had these weird powers that you hid from people because you assume no one else did. But that's kind of left open if other people did or not.
Well, that's interesting because like they could, but they might just be hiding it too, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love that.
Which is something I didn't think about until literally just now during this interview.
That's pretty cool. I love the mystery aspect of that too. That sounds really fun. So, well, what sort of materials do we need? I know we said it's a coloring book, and there's paper dolls involved.
Yeah, so the game comes with, it's actually like 2 separate books. The first one is your rule book that explains like how you play the game and how you run through everything. And the other book for the game is your materials. And so that is coloring sheets, which are all the different rooms of the school that you can explore. And so there's lots of copies of different ones, and you have options to visit different ones each time you play through. There's like a dozen different rooms, but each playthrough you'll probably only visit 3 or 4 of them.
Oh.
And so you have a lot of replayability that way, but you'll have a whole bunch of them. You use those as like your coloring sheets where you explore the rooms with your characters and interact with different objects in the room in order to have your prompts for your role play and how the game plays out. You do also have paper dolls. Those also come in that second coloring book of consumables. And they're pretty simple as far as you have like 9 different, I think we ended up with 9. Yes, I say as if I didn't draw them all. Again, who are we? What did we do? What are we doing here? You have 9 different characters to choose from, so you have a lot of variety, and then they are just like blank outlines, so you can color them in however you want, or you can draw extra stuff on them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they're just a very simple cutout and tent fold, and then they stand up, and then you get to move them around the rooms as you interact with them. You do also have an element of gameplay where there is clothing that can be added to the paper dolls too, but that's bad. That means things are going badly if that happens.
That's so interesting. I don't think I've seen an RPG that has that sort of craft element before. I'm sure it exists. I'm sure there's others kind of like that out there, but this sounds really intriguing. I like it.
I've heard of a couple of other like coloring based RPGs. I haven't played any of them, but I am not familiar with any others that also involve like the paper dolls and the coloring, and it's just like arts and crafts time, and also creepy boarding school horror.
Absolutely. So what sort of characters can people make in this game then?
Honestly, your imagination is the limit. I can't think of any kind of limitation we put on character creator besides you're all coming back for the senior reunion, so you were all in the same grade and you all graduated the same year. You can decide what year that is together. If you're like, we graduated in like 1984 or we graduated in like 2011, or if you want it to be like the senior reunion is in 2022 or whatever you want. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty freeform. We have some tables if you can't think of like personality traits, or there's a section for like what's a talent you had when you're at the school, what's something you like have now. So we have some tables for that if you like can't think of anything that you can just like roll on. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I love random tables.
But other than that, you can really be anyone you want, just with the same caveat of like, at some point you were friends with the other people here. You may not be friends now. We've done play tests where like one of the people is like no one likes to talk to anymore. But you were friends at some point.
Oh, okay.
So the only thing is like you're someone who for some reason would agree to go to this reunion. So you're to be at playing this game. Not necessarily constraints of like other games, was kind of like you have to want to be with the people, because it's more of like you have to want to be at the reunion. You're going to get trapped with these people. It's a horror setting. Right. You don't really have to like them. You're just trapped alone.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, the only other prescriptive part of character creation is that the character that you choose, the only thing that's like already preset on the character sheet is whatever your supernatural power is. Right. So you choose, that's kind of like would be like kind of analogous to your class in some other systems. So like you choose to be the telekinetic or the clairvoyant or whichever one of those. And that's pretty much the only thing that's already decided for you. And you just pick one of those options.
Oh, lovely. Okay. That makes a lot of sense then. Very cool. Well, I'm wondering, would we be able to walk through a character creation right now?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's make some people.
All right. You're gonna have to edit out some clicking while I open one up.
That's perfectly fine.
I have to get to my Google Drive and open one up for you.
Yeah, I was like, wait, let me mute my mic real quick.
Yeah. I can see. Ooh. I'm looking at, gosh. Okay. So I see there's, for lack of a better word, the class. So like the telepath, and then there's the consumed telepath. What are the differences there?
Yeah, so consumed, that's the bad thing that can happen. So you as a player are trying to escape the school that you are trapped in. You are also interacting with the school as you're going through and gathering these like memories of your time when you were attending as a teenager. But that can, through the roles that you're making there, that can go badly. And basically the school can kind of start winning you over to its side of whatever its terrible evil is. You also kind of describe what the manifestation of the evil of the school is through gameplay. That's another thing that we do not have as prescriptive. That's something that you come up with collaboratively as you play. Okay. But yeah, if you're doing poorly or if you're playing to lose, because that sounds fun to you, then you get to be taken over to the side of the evil, and your abilities change a little bit at the end. And in like the final confrontation where everyone is making the final bid for escape, you can actually be working against them.
Oh, fun.
So you, if I remember right, because I'm not on layout stuff, but like we just flip the sheet.
Right.
Is that what we're doing, Amanda? Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like it folds, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that. I'm getting kind of a House on Haunted Hill vibe to that, where somebody can betray at the end.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of that kind of in there too.
I like
we were
that.
like, yeah, because we were kind of like, well, what happens if you lose? Like, if you do end up doing poorly, like what's the consequence going to be for doing poorly? And we don't want the game to just end. We don't want you to just not get to do anything for the rest of the game. So it's like, all right, well, you're bad now.
Is it possible for everybody to go bad?
Yeah. You'd have to roll pretty bad, I think.
Yeah, it's
because it's a D6. It's a 2D6, 1D6,
1D6. Yeah,
1D6. There's ways you can get to. That's right.
Yeah.
But it's a 1D6 system, so it's a pretty that gradient. I feel like people are pretty used to for like D6 pass fail system. So, but I guess the whole table could have really bad rolls that night.
It's statistically unlikely, but possible.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fun though. All right. I mean,
yeah, that would be cool because then you can talk about like, all right, well, how do we go out and just get more people?
Yeah. Just go on a recruiting binge for the
become school recruiters. But like evil. We're evil school recruiters.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, let's go ahead and make a group together if we could.
Sure.
So we've got, it looks like 6 medium clairvoyant, astral traveler, telekinetic, telepath. Yeah, so there's 5 different classes to choose from, it looks like. So is this a game where you want to fill that particular niche? Everybody can only pick different classes or different character types or powers, I guess you could call it. Or can you have two telepaths in the group and just have fun with it?
No, I don't think we've talked about or made a rule around that.
No,
so I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know in a lot of like Powered by the Apocalypse style games, it's like, this is your niche and only your character fills that niche. So it is kind of cool that you can have the same abilities. I like that thought. And I like the thought of 2 telepaths just like messing with each other telepathically while nobody else can hear them.
Right.
That sounds fun. Okay. So if we each want to create a character quick,
Sure.
What do we have to do first?
So pick whichever archetype you would like, whatever your power would like to be. I'll be a medium. I will talk to ghosts.
Ooh. I'm between telekinetic, because I've always wanted to move things with my mind, or astral traveler, because that sounds amazing too.
That is a fun one.
I think I'll go telekinetic, because that's just more a nice visual, I think.
Yes, it is.
I'll be an astral traveler.
Oh, sweet. All right, so we've got our powers. Astral traveler, kinetic, telekinetic, and medium. Perfect. All right, so what's next on the list?
Next, you would want to do your name, pronouns, and then we would talk about what year we graduated the school.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Are we in modern times? What sort of boarding school are we coming from?
Well, and that's something that would usually if you look in the sidebar here, there's the alumni letter, and that's like the ad lib I talked about.
Very cool.
So that's where you decide like the year. You decide like why they're having the reunion, when it is, where it is, and that's kind of when you would want to talk about like what kind of school it was.
Okay. It seems like this might be a pretty quick process. Do we want to go through this real quick?
Yeah, sure.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, so the alumni letter, because you do basically like creating the school is also kind of part of character creation almost, because the school is a character. We just do this like
absolutely
collaboratively.
There's a relationship sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the alumni letter begins with, "Dear esteemed alumni, it is year," whichever year we want it to be, "the perfect time for a 15-year reunion. Some of us haven't seen each other since graduation. So what year do we want it to be now as the game is being played?"
Ooh. Near future? Like 2050?
That's really weird. That's the year I was thinking of.
All right, then I guess it's 2050. All right, if it was 2050, then that means we would have all graduated in 2035.
Yes.
All right, so the reason we are hosting this reunion now is because, and then there are 3 options. First option, we've received a large donation and we'd like to offer it to any alumni who return. Option 2, we'd like you to speak with prospective students. Option 3, we're being interviewed by press and they want to know about your experience.
Because this can also help you think about character creation, like which you didn't make a person who would be enticed by one of those choices.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And honestly, the first one sounds super like sinister.
Right? When has a school ever given me money instead of taking it?
Exactly. Come, have some free money. No strings attached. I kind of want to pick that one because that one sounds that sounds good because it is suspicious. We've received a large donation and we'd like to offer it to any alumni who return. All right. The letter continues. We have arranged a day of celebration starting at 11 a.m. on date, so we can just choose like what time of year this is happening, basically. So what are we thinking? Season, summer, fall, winter, spring? Oh, it's
July 7th, February 29th.
February 29th.
Is that a leap year? The 2050?
2050.
I have no idea.
I don't think it is. It's got to be a multiple 4, right?
It's a leap year now. That's what's weird.
Oh no.
It is now. Whether or not
science added an extra day this year because it's 2050 and they needed to readjust some calendar calculations.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Like February 29th, and we all said, what? And you took out your phone and you're like, well, look at that, 29th. Wait,
it exists
that
now.
wasn't there before.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't there.
All right. It continues. As you all know, the Academy is located at place. So now we get to choose the location. Where is Deimos Academy?
And it can be broad. It could be like Pacific Northwest, or it could be like very specific, like Kahl, Michigan.
I want it because I like the whole like I don't know, like that small town sort of vibe that Stephen King kind of latches onto a lot.
Yeah.
So like the northeast of the U.S. or so might be a good place.
Yeah. So we'll say northeast.
Yeah. Do we have a specific state in the Northeast we want to?
It's got to be Maine.
It's got to be Maine. Okay.
Gonna be Maine. Just super northeast.
I actually live in Maine, so.
Oh, there you go.
So do you want rocky Gothic coast, or do you want spooky pine trees?
Oh, can we have a little bit of both?
Okay, little bit of.
Can we make up a?
Sure, we'll put it on Deer Isle.
Deer Isle. Oh, that sounds okay. Yeah, that sounds super spooky.
Okay, so it's on Deer Isle, Maine. That is basically just a pine-covered mountain sitting off the coast.
Oh, fantastic.
There
Nothing
you go.
ever bad happens on an island off the coast.
Never.
All right, so please dress appropriately for the weather. Lunch, dinner, and light beverages will be provided. Please register at your earliest convenience. All expenses have been paid for. Children, significant others, and any other guests are not allowed. We will be expecting just you. See you there, sincerely, and then your options are whether this came from, I think it got cut off here for some reason, but I think it was the class president from the year we graduated, or the current headmaster, or there was someone else. I can't remember what the other one was.
Yeah, it's like headmaster, president, or like alumni rep or whatever. I think is the last one.
Something like that. So whoever this came from.
Okay. Let's go class president, just because why not?
All right. And our former class president has sent this out. Okay, so that is a little alumni letter.
Yeah.
That sets this up. All right, so now if you wanted to go back to your character sheet. So now we have an idea of, like, what this place is, what this is like.
Absolutely. So let's see. It's the near future. I'm sure names won't have changed too much by then. Gosh, they'd be just starting school about a couple years ago at this point.
Yes.
Late teens.
Yeah.
Okay. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids are like going to be graduating class of 2031 and 2033, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. And my son just started kindergarten this year, so super fun to think about him graduating in the 2030s.
Yeah, so if your son just started kindergarten, then he'd be graduating class of 2035.
Wild.
Yeah.
Hope he doesn't go to Deimos Academy.
Hopefully not.
if you get a letter, they just right in the trash.
Yep. Yeah, we're not going with that.
We're not doing that. So I think my medium's name is going to be Helen, she, her pronouns. And we established graduated 2035.
Wonderful.
Do you have a name for your astral traveler, Austin?
Yeah, Steve.
Steve, okay.
Nice. Gonna go with
like really mundane names.
There you go. I'm gonna go with Arthur. He, him pronouns.
All right. The next prompt reads, where did your parents live while you were at the school? So this is kind of to establish, like, are you local to the school? Are you coming in from another state? Are you coming in from another country? And kind of also can help give a little bit more background for where your character is coming from.
Okay. Because this is a boarding school, so it could be across the coast. It could be whatever. Okay. I'm just going to go with what I know, Wisconsin.
There you go.
Just a nice Midwestern boy.
I'll just be local. I guess, like, local isn't in, like, New England.
Yeah. They're pretty close together over there.
They are pretty close. My character is going to have come from Virginia.
Ooh.
All right. So the next section, the next prompt is, what was your reputation in high school? Now, this one, there's a couple of boxes next to it because there's the opportunity of, if you are reminded of your reputation while you are in the game, if for some reason something in the game reminds you of this, and this is something that you can draw on as your relevant experience and role play it out, you're able to alter your role twice per game. So you can enhance, or again, if you're playing to lose, make your roll worse.
And now I'm reading ahead a little bit. Do we define our, like in high school, did we have our powers or not, or up to us?
You did.
We did. Yeah. That is established that we did.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, it's established. Yeah, it's on the sheet. Like, I think everyone has their own question about, like, you discovered your powers in a situation and how.
Yeah.
So it is established. It's really up to you how much you did or didn't use your powers then.
Okay.
Or now.
Oh, absolutely. So my reputation in high school, I'm going to say prankster, because if you can move things with your mind, that's perfect for pranking, I guess, if you're in high school.
I definitely feel like that's a solid concept. All right. So let's see. I'm going to say my reputation was the overachiever.
I think I was a burnout.
Okay.
All right. So what's our next prompt? Our next prompt now is, how do you define yourself now? All right. So this is where you can also set up kind of like how your character has grown or changed over the years. Like if there is any dissonance between the person you were in high school versus who you are now, or if you're kind of very much still on that same track.
Yeah, I think my character's grown up a bit and left their prankster life behind for the most part. But like, I think they got into doing practical special effects for somebody like Disney or something like that, and utilizes their telekinesis to do certain things that no other special effects artist can do.
Nice.
But then like tells people, oh yeah, I've got this special, rigging that only I know how to use.
It's a trade secret.
A trade secret, yeah. Not even the company that pays my bills knows.
Nice.
But I get good results, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, that's good. I think I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm a burnout, but I'm still kind of a burnout. I'm like, I found a way to like channel that very carefree, like loose energy. I think I do like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like life coaching. But I'm not like, because I feel like some life coaches are like very prim proper people. I'm like the cool life coach.
Right.
And everyone else at the life coach agency like is super annoyed by me, but my clients give me the best reviews.
Love it.
Is that like kind of a Chris Farley sort of from the old SNL, living in a van down by the river?
I don't get that reference.
Oh.
I know who Chris is, but I do not know
he had this
that.
very famous skit on SNL where he was a life coach, but he was just this like hyped up on probably cocaine, I'm guessing, just super hyper and like he's talking about, I'm living in a van down by the river, and if you don't get your life together, you're going to be living in a van down by the river. It's just so good.
Very intense.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. All right, I'm going to say that Helen is now a like small-time politician. Like she's been on city council for a few years, and she's trying to work her way up to like state legislature, and so she's just constantly in that like campaigning and schmoozing zone.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so the next prompt says you discovered your powers, whatever they are, when you were in a scary situation. How did you find your powers?
So I think Arthur found his powers. There was a big storm in his freshman year at the academy, and somebody had gotten caught out off the island, and the boat capsized, and they were in trouble. And Arthur just happened to be around, but he was scared to swim out there. He was an okay swimmer, but he was scared to swim out there. But then like somehow this unlocked his telekinesis, pulling the student to shore which shocked him. So he ran away. So the student never figured out that he used telekinesis to pull them to shore.
Nice.
I think mine, I just got my astral projection, is, I think I was like out after curfew. I like snuck out of my room and I was like messing around in the school. I was just like, not messing around, but I was just like out wandering the school when I wasn't supposed to be. And I think I literally saw something that is unknowable and indescribable that was so frightening I thought I died, and it was the first time I like projected my spirit.
Oh.
I think I like collapsed and was like, and like saw my body and I was like, am I dead? I like, I feel dead. This seems like I'm a ghost. I'm Caspering right now. And the thing like came up to my body and then like walked away from it because it seemed dead, and then I just like went back in and was like, I'm Casper.
That's intense. I like it.
I love that. So I'm going to say that Helen at one point had actually tried to sneak out of the school like at night and was just trying to get out and away and got lost on the island and like just lost in all of the like craggy rocks and pine trees and everything and couldn't see the lights of the school, couldn't find her way back. And then just saw another kid around her age walking through the woods and followed her back to the school. And when she got back to the school, the other girl just disappeared.
Oh, wow.
That was a ghost.
Yeah, that would be freaky.
All right. So the next prompt says, this made you scared of something. What is your fear? And this doesn't necessarily have to be directly related to the story that you told. We also do have like a random chart for this where you can just roll for a random fear. And sometimes those are great.
Oh, yeah. I have one in mind, but I want to roll on the chart.
Sure. Go ahead and roll 2d6 and I'll let you know what comes up on the chart.
All right.
Because that's in a different place. That's in the rule book. So I have it pulled up, though.
4 and a 1.
All right, a 4 and a 1 is the undead.
Oh, that's a lot better than what I was thinking. Big storms, but like the undead.
The undead are pretty great because you know what, your fear will come into play at some point during the game. So
I guess I can kind of justify that with saving somebody that was near death, and then like just being like seeing them lay on the ground and start to get up after I pulled them to shore and then running away from that. Yeah, that's fitting.
Nice.
I think I am afraid of specifically dark corners and rooms. I think that the school has a lot of corners that shouldn't be dark that seem to never illuminate.
Yep.
I don't like that. I'm going to say that Helen's actually afraid of ghosts, even though one helped her. Now that she sees them all the time. And every time it's wild. Like, no, not this again.
I know it's a horror game, but I enjoy the idea of like, you're like a politician, right? So you're like in like offices where like people for sure have died.
Right.
And there's just like some ghost like, hey, Helen's going, oh my God. And they're like, are you going to do that every time? Anyway, there's someone at the front gate. I was just letting you know. Especially
because like most like public service buildings are like old buildings. Like most town halls and public legislatures and stuff are like really old buildings with a lot of history and ghosts in them. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
And they're just like, most of them are just like normal people, right? Like they're not like evil spirits. They're just like,
yeah. I
hung out here too long and I guess I'm stuck here. Are you going to scream every time I walk into a room? Because I'll just go to a different room.
The answer is yes. Yes, I am. All right. Final prompt. Why do you decide to go to the reunion? And we also do have like a whole relationship like thing where we get to establish what our interactions are with each other, both in the present and in the past. Which I don't know if we, depending on the time situation, if we want to go through that. I know we're getting close to time, Austin, because that one's a little bit longer.
It is longer, but that's like another aspect of like the creation. It's like you make the school, you do the characters, like you do like what we've done, and then you do your relationships, and then you are sort of ready for the game.
Right.
After that, after relationship sheet and like the reason why you're going, then you would start like the game, and there's like a whole kind of ad-libby intro too that depends on like who gets there first. And yeah, then you're just ready.
So if you wanted to, you can basically just answer, we can each just answer, why did our character decide to go to this reunion?
Yeah, we can go through that. Gosh, because we're being enticed by money.
Yep.
I guess my character is going, Arthur's going based on curiosity. Like, why is the Academy handing out free money? And who's the one that donated it? And is this, too good to be true? So he's coming in like curious and also cautious.
Nice. I'm going to say that Helen is going partially because she thinks it will look good, get some photo ops in this old prestigious academy that she used to attend, and hopefully some of the other alumni from our graduating year also have made a name for themselves, so I can get some nice photo ops. And also, the money would be nice. Running a campaign for state legislature is not cheap.
No.
It's true.
I got to print up those little lawn signs.
I think I'm going because I'm still curious about those rooms with the corners I want to illuminate.
I should have mentioned at the start that Austin is really good at making this very creepy. Every time we play, they always turn the creepy up to the max.
There's going to be eyes in one of those corners one of these days.
Exactly.
Why is there two lights in that corner? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Amazing. We did it. We created some characters. Is there anything else that we needed to do to finish up the characters at all?
You would select your paper doll, but obviously that doesn't work in a audio format.
Exactly.
But you get a paper doll, you cut it out. If you're like me, you can't someone else to cut it out for you because I can't cut things out to save my life.
You spend as much or as little time coloring it as you like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see they do have the little uniforms and stuff that you can get. That's very telling of why it's bad. That's very cool, though. I like this. Wonderful. This is delightful. Is there anything interesting that you want to point out about the Kickstarter that we want to highlight that we haven't gone over? Any fun stretch goals that you have in mind that'll be kind of there at first, or are you just going to hold on to things and see how things go first?
I don't think we have anything to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still working out the finer details in the Kickstarter in that way as of this recording. We're getting some of the printing done. I know with people over in China, and they were out for the New Year recently. So we haven't gotten back some quotes, so we haven't been able to finalize like some goals because it depends on like what it costs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it sounds like things are brewing at least.
Yes.
So
so
that's good.
And most of the stretch goals, for the most part, are just things like adding extra content to the game itself in the form of guest writers and adding like some more options for characters or like more options for items.
There's nothing like another. We haven't talked about anything that's like another thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But who knows? We could get on a call with Banana, and Banana could have a new grand plan because they're incredible. They're not here, but they're incredible designer and mastermind.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Every time we meet, we're like, yeah, how did you come? You came up with that this afternoon.
Yep.
Absolutely. And when does the Kickstarter go into effect? When does that start? Is there a solidified date or general?
It's like Jell-O solid, and that's March 15th.
Okay. Yes. Mid-March, we'll say. Okay. So, Amanda and Austin, thank you so much for joining us to talk about Deimos Academy. This was really fun.
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm happy to be here. It was great.
Yeah, thanks for having us. I had a lot of fun making characters.
Yeah. Can you remind everyone where they can find you online?
Yeah, you can find me online. My webcomic is at ageofnight.com, ageofnight.com. You can find me on Twitter at ageofnight and on Instagram at Amanda Kahl Art.
You can find me over on Twitter at Sailor Scout Austin. That's at Sailor SCT Austin. That's really it. That's where you can find me. I don't have like a website or anything cool just yet. I don't know what to put on it when I just write. I can't show you what I wrote. Go buy the game.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at right now. You can find me on Twitter, and that's where I try to let people know what I'm up to.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us for this special bonus episode of Character Creation Spotlight. And thanks to everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to check out Deimos Academy Kickstarter, which is coming out very soon. And we will see you next time. Character Creation Cast is a production of the One Shot Podcast Network and can be found online at www.charactercreationcast.com. Head to the website to get more information on our hosts, this show, and even our press kit. Character Creation Cast can also be found on Twitter at CreationCast or on our Discord server at discord.charactercreationcast.com. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Bolter, and I can be found on Twitter at Lord Neptune or online at lordneptune.com. Our other host, Amelia Antrim, can be found on Twitter at Ginger Reckoning. Music for this episode is used with a Creative Commons license or with permission from the podcast they originated from. Further information can be found within the show notes. Our main theme music is Hero Remix by Steve Combs and is used with a Creative Commons license. This podcast is owned by us under Creative Commons. This episode was edited by Ryan Bolter. Further information for the game systems used and today's guests can be found in the show notes. If you'd like to leave us a rating or review, we have links to various review platforms out there, including Apple Podcasts, in our show notes. Also, check the show notes for links to our other projects. Thanks for joining us, and remember, we find that the best part of any role-playing game is character creation. So go out there and create some amazing people. We will see you next time.
Now we gotta read some show blurbs.
Show blurbs.
Show blurbs.
Show blurbs.
Show blurbs.
Character Creation Cast is hosted by the One Shot Podcast Network. If you enjoyed our show, visit oneshotpodcast.com, where you will find other great shows like All My Fantasy Children.
Each week, Aaron Katana Saez and Jeff Stormer take a listener-submitted prompt and, using some of their favorite tabletop RPGs, create an original fantasy character. Along the way, they share laughs, stories, verbal hugs, and populate a shared universe, one story at a time.
All right. Got some waveforms.
Ding.
Oh, no.
There we go. There it's going now.
Is it going? Is it like just at 0 right now?
No, now I'm at 9 seconds.
Oh, so you're about 9 seconds behind.
Yeah.
10 seconds behind. I'll fix it in post. It's fine.
Sorry. I knew that was going to happen.
It's okay.
I knew
but
my computer would do it.
I've had one guest before that has happened as well. And it happens. It's fine. It's easy to fix.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't destroy the audio as well.
I'm going to hope.
Well, that's why we have backups.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yay.
So that's it. So we can go ahead and stop the recordings.